to the Glean tutorial from UC Santa Cruz, DRC. To begin, we'll be opening Glean through our webpage, which is quite simply just glean.co. Now, once you register, you'll get an email with login credentials, and you'll click these three bars in the top right, and on the bottom left, sign in. Okay, so right off the bat, it'll bring you to the home page where you'll see a cluster of events and their collection. It's important to think as Glean as sort of similar to Google Drive, and just that collections are folders, typically like the classes you're taking. And within those folders are events, which are typically the lectures that are taught. Given that in each event, you'll have most likely the slides that the professor teaches / demonstrates in that particular day. So if we go over here to collections and we hit new collection, we'll say history 185. Great. Now our history 185 class started, and we'll add the first lecture 1. You'll want to import slides here, and I have an example slides that we could work with. It could be PowerPoint, X, it could be anything you download from, like, I know Google Slides, you can import those too. And this even works with PDFs. We'll take a minute here and skip ahead. Okay, perfect. Once we're in here, we have our slides, we have this notes column, and we have this audio column. To begin, the idea is to record audio while also taking notes and labeling them. So to begin, we'll hit the record button in the top left. Now there's a couple options here. If it's an in-person recording, you'll just want the microphone because there's no screen that you would want to record audio from. But if you're in a remote class and the lecture is being taught through Zoom, screen audio would capture strictly the audio that comes out of your computer, and screen audio and mic would do both. It would do what's coming out of your computer and also what's in the room, what the mic is picking up in the room. So since this is just me talking here, I'll do microphone. Now we're recording, and we have a lot of options here. A heading note or a label, a label note, and a review note. Now, while you're talking or while your professor is talking, you'll notice that when there's noise, a bar pops, and when there's not noise, it's just a thin line. And so you could sort of subdivide where you want to put these three labels in your audio. So say your professor goes through, oh, and you see instructions for use. So that way you can label, you could say, okay, he started talking about instructions at this part. And I'll click here and I'll say heading at 50 seconds. And then he goes more along in the slides. And okay, he talks about quotations. Quotations are super important. You'll go here and label this important. And then he mentions something of a test. He says yellow, blue, and red will be on the test. You'll hit here and hit review. And you can even, mess with these. Review, yellow, blue, and red. And even here, you could say I think, oh yeah, quotations are important. And the heading here, you could say instructions. Another cool option to perform while recording audio is this lightning option. Once you click this, there we go. You have this neat numpad that you can use. 1 for heading, 2 for important, 3 for review, and also image, I believe this is definition, and then a task that you can add. So while you're talking, you don't have to click here. You could just hit 1. You could just hit 2, and you could just hit 3. And I'll mark it in the exact instance / time when you press it in the audio. If we want to add an image, we'll hit I, import, and add an appropriate image. So this is from one of my classes. If we want to add a definition, say this image, I believe is about, we'll say reading a value. So we'll say, what is the definition of a value? Sure, economics. There you go. And last but not least, this text, or sorry, task option here. So let's say, do this, review yellow, blue, and red by Thursday. Neat. And there's a check mark to let you know whether you did it or not. And that is the gist of Glean. Thanks for listening.